Welcome to the President's Diary, a monthly television program that highlights the activities of the President both in and outside the Gambia.
Have you been wondering about the daily work routine of the President? Well, the President does more than traveling. For someone who starts his day as early as 7:45 in the morning, is probably the busiest man in the country. In order to bring the presidency closer to the people, the Office of the President, in collaboration with GRTS, presents the President's Diary.
Hello from the State House in Banjul and welcome to the President's Diary, a monthly program that highlights the engagement of the President both in and outside the Gambia. In this edition, we will highlight activities of the President aimed at strengthening the legal institutions in this country, as well as activities aimed at promoting peace, unity and reconciliation. We will also look at initiatives geared towards improving the public transport system of the Gambia. For this and more, please stay tuned. My name is Mfalli Fadera.
I am Zainab Fall, co-presenting with Mfalli Fadera.
To begin this edition, the Barrow government continues to build ties with different countries to get the right support to deliver on its promise to the Gambian people. One such area is ensuring fast and fair dispensation of justice. The Federal Republic of Nigeria has provided technical support to the Gambia to ensure Gambian people have access to justice. 3 highly qualified judges with good reputation are working with the judiciary. Before taking up their duties, President Barrow presided over their swearing-in ceremony in preparation of the tasks that lie ahead.
It is barely a year ago when I swore in 8 Gambian judges to allow Gambian nationals themselves to participate effectively in dispensing justice in this country and to strengthen our judicial system. Among other things, that event was a clear demonstration of my government's commitment to ensuring that we provide the legal services necessary for the people. As professionals, you will confirm that justice is key to peace and development, and that is a crucial factor of positive transformation of society. I am elated and encouraged by the support that the Federal Republic of Nigeria continues to provide to the Gambia in various disciplines. The technical assistance provided through the 3 judges being sworn in here today serve to nurture and reinforce the bilateral ties between our 2 countries. Indeed, the services of the Nigerian judges in our legal system add a lot of value to our national experience and contribute tremendously to expediting judiciary delivery process. As you are all aware, private and public sector investment, including foreign direct investment, is the foundation for rapid social economic development for any nation. It is in this context that my government is working tirelessly to create the right environment to build our economy, reform our institutions, and improve on service delivered to the public. Significant in this regard is the dispensation of justice.
Sometime in June, a tragic incident took place in the community of Farabaugh, which resulted to violent clashes between members of the police intervention unit and the community of Farabaugh. This incident shocked the whole nation, and President Barrow was equally concerned, and he took the necessary administrative actions to remedy the situation. He visited the victims at the hospital in Banjul, as well as traveled all the way to Farabaugh, where he joined the community in mourning the victims. At a community meeting in Farabaugh, President Barrow called for reconciliation and peace.
Ni ala kitida menna ite tambinola wala bar nyinketa lungo meng wolunketa nyenni kuya baati kabirin keta president woti nene man ni kuya soto meye aussi wolu momo en lon ni momo e doko ke kabirin keta president woti be yalo ne kafo bi manke mfanti salifana salo state house ngake misiro leto bari wolu man salifala salo ma bendino misiro kon woto farbangol al salo nyin sango mu farbala sangolti kombola sangolom gambia la sangolom woton nata pour kal konton sangolela fem bijang fem ni kuya sotoje fem na mo bantaje nata pour kal konton sangola ko men keta jang aketa Gambia be ni kuyati aketa dunia be ni kuyati mune wo sabu Gambian ko le kato menke ko men tambila Gambia ko sanji mo ni fula mol wulta e kafuta e lota e wala kele pour way bo Gambia ko ni o ko murto ñaari o mu kulere me alon ko ni kuya balo ndel laftale non ko nin kayro men nata Gambian ka fo ñu Gambia wo ñu Gambia e sike molle sampuloti dunia kono niaje bin tobe diari dunia kono nga kato menke nga kero menke ka demokrasi ni sabatindi dictatorship membe jam pour ka bonni wala ken tobe diari dunia kono woto ñi mukulati me alon ko lafta Gambian ko le mbe nga ke kilinti Farabaugh ke kilinti kombo ke kilinti altel men bijang asiata sanji ke med ñi saate o be keri altel le be ñoka njeng altel le ka kol kege ñoye altel da mo nalia mira albalo na ko wati tambida ale ku jawale ke ñol bari fitno na sorta amanya na kunna dame abe kunna wol mi la fila Farabaugh kol
ako abe la fita Farabaugh kol
alsimuru ñokan alsake kilinti ñin ko men kedam man sakunda wulta ko nomale ku tamata ko kono kabra frota dame fa bandula mba be korosole kilin.
Thank you very much, Mr. President.
During a conducted tour of the Edward Francis Small Teaching Hospital in Banjul, President Barrows has promised a massive facelift and intervention package that will help to raise the standard of the hospital. President Barrows announced that plans are at an advanced stage to revamp and modernize the service delivery system of the country's main referral hospital.
Countries have passed through this. We will pass through it also. There is no doubt about that. Let us be courageous. We will have the vision. We thought that we cannot remove Yajam. But because we are steadfast, we are courageous, we are brave and also stand to the challenge. That's why we are able to take the change. If we continue with that, we will succeed, no doubt about that. Thank you very much for all the efforts. We congratulate you for all the efforts you are doing. But be rest assured that we will give you the support. That's why we are here. It's a national duty, and I think national duty is everybody's business. Thank you.
Joining us now to discuss the significance of the President's visit to the hospital is the Director of Press and Public Relations, Ms. Ami Bojan Sisoho.
Thank you. The importance of the visit is to signify the commitment of His Excellency, President Adama Barrow, towards the health and well-being of the Gambians. And the reason is that he's looking at the hospital as a national institution that needs to be well-equipped provided with the necessary human resources to be able to operate it for the benefit of our people. And if you look at it, His Excellency is really demonstrating that he belongs to the Gambia. Some of us may recall when one of his children was unwell, they decided to have the child in the Edward Francis Small Hospital for the reason that this is where they belong. It should be good for every Gambian. If it is good for a farmer, if it is good for a cleaner, it should be good for the president and the family of the president.
To ensure healing, justice and reconciliation, President Barrows wasted no time in instituting a presidential commission of inquiry to investigate the circumstances leading to the incident and also to recommend ways to prevent a reoccurrence of similar cases in Farabaugh and other parts of the country. Speaking at the swearing ceremony for members of the commission at the State House in Banjul, the president said Farabaugh was a test to our collective commitment to democratic ideals.
It appears that in our journey towards consolidation of democracy and good governance, human rights and national development, our resolve is being tested and challenged. If we are tested, I think we have the responsibility to prove ourselves beyond any reasonable doubt that we believe in the principle of democracy, we believe in the principle of rule of law and justice. However, the revelations and establishment of accurate facts and the truth in all circumstances is fundamental for any community or country to progress peacefully. The Gambia is no exception to this. Hence my decision to commission an inquiry into the unfortunate Farabaugh incident. I believe very strongly that it is only the truth that can free the people of Farabaugh from their troubles and allow them to reconcile their differences as a community. On the other hand, it is vital that those who committed human rights abuses and other crimes are brought to justice. This commission has a challenging task to perform, but guided by your level of competence, integrity and experience, you will get to the bottom of the event and submit an impartial report for peace and justice to prevail. It is important also for us to make sure that the appropriate action is taken so that such incidents do not occur in the country. Clearly, the provision of credible information and pointers by those associated with the case is essential for the success of this commission. In this light, I call upon all those affected to give the commission the necessary support and collaboration to enable it to undertake this sensitive task successfully. I must remind you that we fought for change in order to improve the lot of every citizen and to make the Gambia a better place for all of us. Therefore, let us unite, and together we will be stronger to move on. Although I trust that your recommendations will be without prejudice against anybody, I encourage you to investigate the incident with a high sense of discipline and honesty. My government will stand firm for truth and justice, and we will remain committed at all times to the restoration of human rights, fair play, and the pursuit of justice for all.
Have you been wondering about the daily work routine of the president? Well, the president does more than traveling. For someone who starts his day as early as 7:45 in the morning, is probably the busiest man in the country. In order to bring the presidency closer to the people, The Office of the President, in collaboration with GRTS, presents the President's Diary.
President Barrow has also been busy in other sectors of national development. The movement of people is an integral part of communication and socio-economic development. Aware that some governors inherited official vehicles in bad shape and made it challenging for them to move around, President Barrow presented them with new vehicles at a brief handing over ceremony held at the State House in Banjul.
And deputy governors. I'm really excited today to take a decision at our government level to purchase vehicles for governors. It came to my notice when I was on holidays. Governors' vehicles were in a very, very bad shape. Some of them have to be, sometimes they have to borrow vehicles from local governors, local government officials, and businessmen to come and visit me at Makamakunda. I come to realize that definitely it was very hard, but we have to make sure we get them very good vehicles. So the government have to take this shot. They are our governors representing us at that level. They need mobility and they need good cars. But we will also advise the governors, you take care of the cars. These are vehicles that need maintenance. And if you are using them, you have to maintain them. Take good care of them. These are new vehicles, they can serve you for 10 or 15 years. But the former regime, vehicles were allocated them for 1 year. Those are the vehicles that we are using. And they didn't serve long. That was not the purpose. The purpose was official duties. And also for us to maintain them. If we don't maintain them, they will not serve us long. And that's will do good for this country. That is the piece of advice I have for you. It's a great pleasure and an honor to hand over these keys to the Minister of Local Government and Lands, and maybe he has a few words also.
On behalf of the President and on behalf of the Ministry, I think I would want to honor the Governor of LRR being next to me to hand over to her the keys to these vehicles. We have 5 pickups, we have 5 station wagons, meaning all the governors and all the deputy governors are now mobile. May I hand over this vehicle on behalf of the State of the Gambia? Thank you. Yes.
Thank you very much. His Excellency, the President of the Republic of the Gambia, Mr. Adama Barrow. On behalf of my colleagues, we want to thank you very much, thank the President, and thank the government of the Gambia for giving us the opportunity to get these vehicles today. Definitely it has not been easy with us, and on behalf of my colleagues here and on behalf of our region. And we promise you that, as you mentioned earlier, the maintenance culture you talked about, we're going to look into it seriously. And we're going to make sure that we take care of these vehicles. And we are ready to work for the benefit of our regions, for the whole country at large. And therefore, we want to thank you very much once again. Thank you, His Excellency.
Still on transportation, but this time let's move to Makati Square in Banjul, where the President of the Republic received a fleet of 20 buses from the Istanbul Metropolitan Municipality through the Turkish Cooperation and Coordination Agency, which is the international development agency of the Republic of Turkey. The vehicles will ease transportation for the public.
Ambassador Seva had motivated both Turkish officials and investors to visit the Gambia to explore investment opportunities here. My visit to Turkey earlier this year is a future manifestation of the seriousness my government attaches to our relationship with Turkey. These buses will go a long way to provide alternative means of public transportation. Therefore, allow me to express once again my deep appreciation and delight for this great support from the government of Turkey. I implore to the final recipients to take good care of the buses and maintain them. While we build our relationships and garner support, we have the responsibility to maintain and sustain whatever assistance is provided. I pray for the continued and successful bilateral ties between the government and the people of the Gambia and Turkey, and I wish the public a safe ride on the buses.
You are reminded that you are tuned to the President's Diary. I am Zainab Fall, co-presenting with Mfali Fadera. Every quarter, Banjul Muslim elders pay a courtesy call to the State House to pray for the guidance of the President and protection of the country. President Barrows seized the occasion to thank elders for taking time to visit and discuss many pertinent national issues.
Pour démocratie ñëw ci Gambia ci time bi lutax mu nekk suñu jàmm mooy aduna bi yépp benn jubluwaay lañu am jubluwaay bi mooy démocratie kon su nekkee ñëpp ñu ngi am benn jubluwaay yow nga am beneen jubluwaay yow doo dem ci kanam kon si waxtu bu mu ñëw mënutoon na ñëw si waxtu bu gën waxtu bii kon loolu jàmm la pour Gambie tey na fu ma waxee fii ak daaw dafa uti tey am naa yaakaar bu rëy pour Gambie am naa yaakaar bu mag a mag pour Gambie waaye yaakaar boobu du mun a mut nag su nekkee ñun jàppuñ si ñëpp ñoo si war a bokk ñëpp suñ si jàppee rek jàmm boobu dafay sax jàmm boobu dafay continuer lu nga xam ne loolu lañ ñu bugg a jox pour ñu defar suñu réew dañ seet ne ñu ngi nekk benn ñu ngi toppa démocratie si lañ ñu ko bugg a jox pour ñu def loolu waaye su leneen ñëwee loolu du mën a am kon suma advice bi mooy si Gambien si politique bi jeex na Gambien ni ñu bugg a tànn nañ leen taaj nañ leen ba pare jeex na léegi liggéey rek moo des waaye fu ñu nekk nii nañ nekk benn ñun ñëpp jàmm bi si ñëwee ñun ñëpp ñoo ko enjoy.
Away from home, President Barrow was in Nouakchott, where he attended the 31st AU Summit on the theme Winning the Fight Against Corruption. He made several interventions on the Africa Continental Free Trade Area, the AU institutional reform, and the common position of the AU on the ACP and Europe.
We need to reform our legal and regulatory regimes, tax administration and procurement systems to combat corruption in our public, economic and business environments. It is imperative that we intensify our efforts to ensure that corrupt practices are systematically tackled and resources that are siphoned off recovered. Our partnership with others should be reinforced to fully implement the Continental Strategic Plan on the fight against corruption. This process requires disbursement of adequate budgetary resources. My government is addressing the consequences of 2 decades of poor governance and misuse of state mega resources. A commission of inquiries is ongoing, and its revelations so far have shown the extent to which resources meant for national development were grossly misused and diverted by a small clique of unpatriotic and dishonest Gambians and their foreign partners in crime. As a consequence, in moving forward, the guiding principle of my government is the exercise of good governance in all facets of public administration. Concurrently, a national anti-corruption bill has been promulgated and an anti-corruption commission is being established. In addition, the Gambia have signed the African Union Convention on Preventing and Combating Corruption and the United Nations Convention Against Corruption in order to adopt best standards in the fight against corruption. We are determined in our quest for victory against corruption.
Have you been wondering about the daily work routine of the president? Well, the president does more than traveling. For someone who starts his day as early as 7:45 in the morning, is probably the busiest man in the country. In order to bring the presidency closer to the people, the Office of the President, in collaboration with GRTS, presents the President's Diary.
As I stand here, I think I'm more of a businessman than working for government, because my entire life I've been working with the business sector. Cherno knows me. I used to work with Musa and Sons. We were among the biggest importers in this country. I used to have clients with George Banna, who wants rice. He has been in the rice industry for long. But one thing is important here. We are not on a debate. We want to consult. As president, people voted for you. The moment people voted for you is a social contract. That contract is the people wanted to impact on their life. Government is creating the environment for the business community. This environment is, we reduce 10% on rice to 0. I'm thinking like a businessman. I think that should have impact on the consumers. That should have impact on the Gambian people. That is the poor people. We reduce that 10% not for the businessmen, but for the Gambian people, the 1.8 million Gambians. At least some should have gone to their pocket. This meeting is to bring to your attention the urgency my government places on current situation regarding the prices of basic commodities, while we provide for a liberal business environment. We are equally responsible for protecting consumer welfare and ensuring that essential commodities are sold at affordable prices. This can only be achieved through consultations and strong collaboration and a willingness to exercise flexibility by both the public and private sector. And we want to encourage people to go into manufacturing value addition. But in doing that, government can help you on the moratorium, but the pricing is very important.
The Gambian leader called on his new cabinet members to renew their commitment to hard work to realize the NDP 2018-2021 through democratic, legal and peaceful coexistence.
As we embark on the process of working together as a team and family, I urge all of us to renew our commitment to build strong institutions for national development. The new Gambia calls for us to follow the right processes in the service of the nation. Thus, given all the huge challenges we face, the country cannot move at a snail pace. Rather, we must move together with vigor and seriousness. Our individual attitudes towards work will reflect on our collective achievements. Hence, we must serve as examples and take positive steps to make major reforms in our institutions to promote transparency and accountability. We need the right institutions, policies, and most importantly, the right human resources to implement all relevant policies and programs, as well as to establish the right norms in all public institutions. Together, we should redelegate ourselves to serving the national interests in all our engagements and avoid all negative and selfish attitudes and actions. We have to ensure that we leave behind a legacy of strong and sustainable institutions, effective laws, and the right procedures that will transform our country into a full-fledged democracy and facilitate a social, economic, and political development for our people. The burden rests on us to manage our newfound democracy. Therefore, it cannot be business as usual. We have the challenging task of changing and developing the nation, and you are the leaders entrusted with the noble responsibility to lead this positive change in your institutions.
Now, back in 2016, during the presidential election, one of the cardinal campaign promises of the candidate Barrow was to replace the 1997 Constitution with a more progressive one. In June 2018, President Barrow presided over the historic swearing-in ceremony of the Constitutional Review Commission appointed to review the 1997 Republican Constitution of the Gambia. Speaking at the swearing ceremony of the 11-member Constitutional Review Commission at the State House in Banjul, President Barrow renewed calls for the enactment of a term limit for president in the Constitution of the Gambia.
Governance is a process, and no single government can complete the nation-building process in one particular era. It is a never-ending process. Every generation faces its own challenges and should react to such challenges squarely. However, the cornerstone of our democracy and its vital constitutional provisions should not be shaken or scattered by any change of government. In this light, the national constitution should be built on the foundation of nationalism and thus accommodate diversity in terms of gender, age, religion, ethnicity, place of residence, and other characteristics. All of us should protect and allow to enjoy the fundamentals of democracy, freedom, and rule of law. The Gambia can learn from best practices in constitutional democracy to make our constitution progressive. But no model should be imposed on the people against their will. We must uphold our sovereignty as a nation and devise a framework that suits our circumstances. In this regard, as citizen, I hold this view, as some other Gambians do, that a two-term limit for all head of state of the Republic should be enshrined in the new constitution. The document should protect the citizens against governments that entrench themselves and undermine the desire and the will of the people. Such protection would allow governments to focus on development rather than consolidating power to abuse the rights of the citizens. In addition, the Constitution should create the environment for all to enjoy their citizenship and realize their full potentials. Ladies and gentlemen, the mandate of these commissioners is to review the 1997 Gambian Constitution and to craft and submit a draft of Constitution for the Third Republic based on due consultation with Gambians. I have no doubt that all the commissioners have met the criteria set to undertake this important task. You must remember, however, that your commitment to country and your success in this endeavor will be judged by history. When governments come and go without having to change the adopted constitution.
Well, this is why we draw the curtain on this edition of the President's Diary, which is produced and presented by the Office of the President's Communication Unit.
Join us next month as we bring you another edition of the President's Diary. From me, Zainab Fall, it's a goodbye.
And I am Falli Fadera. Thank you.
Have you been wondering about the daily work routine of the president? Well, the president does more than traveling. For someone who starts his day as early as 7:45 in the morning, is probably the busiest man in the country. In order to bring the presidency closer to the people, the Office of the President, in collaboration with GRTS, presents the President's Diary.